Welcome back, my followers. I'm your host, Ricky Knoles, and this is another episode of Knoles Cool Stuff. And today we are taking a look at the Sony Xperia 5 Mach 2. Or is it Mark 2? So is it Mach like the speed of a jet, or is it Mark like Iron Man's suit? And yes, I did get the pink one. So we're going to explore this phone today here on Knoles Cool Stuff. So let's talk about the unboxing of the Sony Xperia 5 Mach 2. I'm going to start calling it just the Sony Xperia 5 2. Right? So what did I get in the box? Now, I had to buy the Hong Kong version because they don't sell it here in China, so I had to import it from Hong Kong. So let's talk about the unboxing. Alright, so the Sony Xperia 5 Mach 2 will come in a white box. Alright, it will, when you first open it up, we'll see the phone. Underneath, you'll see some paperwork. And underneath the other part, you will have the power brick. They will also give you a USB-C to USB-C cable. And what they are going to give you some Sony headphones. And that is the unboxing. Phone, charger, cable, headphones. And there's no SIM tool ejector because you don't need one for the Sony. Alright guys, so that was in the box. Now let's talk about the body of this beautiful lady right here next to me. Alright, so let's explore her body inch by inch. And we'll see what you're getting with this phone. Well, you're going to get Gorilla Glass 6 on the front and the back of this beautiful phone with an aluminum frame all the way around it. All right. So now let's take a look at it real quick. Now on the left side, you'll see is your SIM tray. Now you don't need no SIM tool to pull this out. You just gotta use your fingernails and just whip it out. All right. Now let's explore the top. On top, you'll see a microphone. And what's that? Yes, that is a 3.5 millimeter jack. So if you have some headphones with a jack, you're in luck. Now let's head off to the right side. Now the right side of the phone is where you have all your buttons. All right. From the top to the bottom. From the very top, you have your volume rocker. All right. After that down, you slide down. You'll find yourself your power button and your fingerprint sensor. All right. So you register your fingerprint with the power button. And you keep moving down the body. You'll find a dedicated Google button. Now, you cannot change it. All right. You cannot switch it to something else. It's always going to be a Google Assistant button. And we move all the way down to the very bottom of the right side. You have a dedicated shutter button, so when you use your camera mode. Now let's take a look at the bottom. At the bottom of the phone, you have a microphone. You have your USB-C port. And we take a look at the top of the phone. You'll have your display. And on the back, you'll have your cameras. And that's the body of the Sony phone. And also, your Sony phone knows how to swim. All right? It's going to have a IP65, IP68 dust and water resistance up to 1.5 meters for 30 minutes. And that's the body of your sweet lady. All right, so we explored the body of this Sony phone. Now let's talk about the display, which is basically the face of the phone. And what are you getting with the face of the phone? Is it a beautiful face or is it a Picasso? Beautiful from afar, but when you get so close up, it looks like a hot mess. So let's explore the display. What are you getting? The display of your young lady is going to be a 6.1 inch OLED screen with 120 Hz refresh rate, HDR, a resolution of 1080 by 2520 pixel, with a 21:9 ratio. That's right, she's going to be a tall one, girl. Tall and thin. All right, so that is your display. All right, so now let's talk about the heart of the Sony Xperia 5 Mark II. All right, what is running this beautiful lady that if you have a chance to get to use, what is inside? Let's find out what's inside of her. All right, so at the heart of the Sony Xperia 5 Mark II is an Android 10 operating system with planned upgrades to Android 11. Qualcomm Snapdragon 865, Adreno 650. All right, so our Sony, it's not a dumb blonde. She got some memory up in there. So what kind of RAM and memory can you get with this beautiful lady, huh? What can you get? Let's take a look. All right, so the Sony Xperia will have two variants. One, either the 8 GB of RAM with 120 GB of storage, or 8 GB of RAM with 256 GB of storage. Now, I chose to get the 8 gig with the 256 GB of storage with UFS. All right, so let's talk about this lady. Now, let's talk about sound. All right, she got some pipes on her. All right. Now, what does she have inside her to make it so loud? All right, let's explore. What's her voice? What's the voice of the Sony Xperia 5 Mark II? All right, so our Sony does have some pipes. Matter of fact, she has two pipes, stereo speaker pipes. All right, so she's going to speak with two front-facing stereo speakers. All right, one at the chin, one at the forehead. All right, like I said, it does come with a 3.5mm jack with a 24-bit, 192 kilohertz audio. Plus, Sony also, to give you a little more vibration, added a dynamic vibration system. What basically means your phone will be vibrating a little bit. It gives a little extra bass kick to it. So let's listen to something. Let's just listen and see how it sounds. All right, so we've seen a little bit of her voice, but now let's talk about her eyes. That's right, she's going to be coming with 3 eyes on the back. But are they good quality eyes, or does she need to wear some glasses? All right, so the Sony will have 3 eyes, or like most people will say, 3 cameras. All right, but they're all 12 megapixel cameras. Your main camera, 12 megapixel, with an f1.7 aperture. Your telephoto is a 12 megapixel too, with an f2.4 aperture. And your ultra wide is also a 12 megapixel camera with an f2.2 aperture with a wide angle field of range of 124 degrees. It can shoot video. That's right. She can do moving videos too instead of stills. So she'll be doing a 4K at 24, 30, 60, or even 120 frames per second, and also 1080p with a 5-axis gyro EIS, OIS for your video performance. All right, so now let's talk about the selfie camera. Not as impressive as the back cameras, but it is an 8 megapixel with an f2.0 with HDR, It can shoot video at 1080p at 30 frames per second with a 5-axis gyro EIS. Alright, so we know a little bit about her eyes, her back eyes, her front eyes. But does she have the stamina to last all day with you? Right? What is the battery situation on this and the charging situation on it? Let's find out. Let's ask her. So, can you last all day? Very interesting. All right, so what is the battery situation with the Sony Xperia 5 Mach 2? Well, it's going to be coming with a 4,000 milliamp battery with fast charging up to 21 watts, but they only include the 18-watt charger in the box, which is weird. All right. USB power delivery 3.0. So there's your battery. 4,000 in a very small, compact device, not bad. Another good thing about the Sony Xperia is that you can do one hand. Because it's such a narrow phone, you fit easily in your hand. You're not trying to reach for it. But if you do have small fingers, you can switch it to one-handed mode, which basically shrinks the screen down so you can fit it all on the right side or left side, depending if you're right or left-handed. And side sense is also another thing with the Sony Xperia. Basically, put your little things in a box. All right, so Sony has 3 12-megapixel cameras and 1 8-megapixel camera on the front. But what makes this stand out? What makes her stand out from the rest of the girls waiting against the wall, waiting for a boy to come up and dance with her? All right, it is these 2 little apps right here. All right, Camera Pro, Photo Pro. Basically, it's allowing you to control all aspects when taking pictures or video, and that is good if you're a professional and you like to control all the aspect ratios. Stay tuned because we will be doing in-depth video on both apps. All right. So this is what makes it stand out. We're going to explore and see if it's even worth your trouble of even buying the phone just for that one little aspect. Is that worth the while, or is it just more big hairspray hair? Just to get your attention, but you don't really need it. All right, so this is the Sony Xperia 5 Mach 2. All right. Now I like it because it's so small and compact. My hand's not like going like this with the phone. You can actually clamp it, and I almost touch finger to finger to it. And so, my question is, why nobody buying Sony phones? Is it because of the long aspect ratio of the 21:9? Maybe. Is it because maybe this doesn't have wireless charging? But wireless charging is not a deal breaker for me. Like, would you rather have wireless charging, or would you rather have an IP68 dust and water resistance? All right. Maybe it's because Sony announces it and it takes like 3 months before it actually comes out and stuff. But why wouldn't you buy a Sony phone? Like I said, after I use this for 1 month, I'll give you my complete honest review of this phone. All right, because I can give you the specs now. I can't tell you the experience until after I actually get to use it for 1 month. And so All right, so we're going to stay tuned to that. But we're going to come up with a whole bunch of other videos. We're going to explore the pro modes on both of the apps. We're going to do battery charging tests, battery drain tests. All right, so stay tuned for that here on Knoles Cool Stuff. So if you like this video, hit that like button. Hit that bell for notifications for when those videos drop. And if you really like this video and want to join my family, hit the subscribe button. All right. Until next time, I'm your host, Ricky Knoles. And as always, my followers, be cool.